Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Kim Steward. You are watching Buying Black with Kim Steward, and boy, do we have a show for you on today. First of all, this is a platform, this is a show where we celebrate and showcase Black and Brown business owners. So if you too would like to be featured on Buying Black with Kim Stewart, please email your business and information, a small video about 30 to 60 seconds to Hope Media at Hope Media, Hope Media at hopefellowship.org. Excuse me, it's been a long day. So I know I was having some difficulty last week, but I'm up here in our den tonight next to our router so that we can hear loud and clear and that there are no technical difficulties, God willing. So, we have today, hold on, let me look at the comments too. I'm trying to stay up on top of the comments. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm just gonna put some of your comments on here. I've learned from the best, Pastor Willie Nelson. And speaking of Pastor Willie Nelson, that is who we have on today. And I first of all also want to make sure that I give a shout out to our church, Hope Fellowship, and Pastor JP for allowing me to use this platform to reach the masses because we are just awesome. I hear so many comments about being inspired after watching the show and just being blessed. So we just hope that somebody is blessed today. So let me introduce the person that I have on today. I have Willie Nelson III, licensed Georgia realtor, owner of Celebrate Realty Group. Willie Nelson III is a native of Richmond, Virginia. He has a diverse background in sales, marketing, banking, pastoral care, counseling, and music. He is a 2003 graduate of Middle Tennessee State University with a degree in music business management. He also has a dual Master of Divinity and Master of Arts in Church Music degree from Morehouse School of Religion at the ITC in Atlanta, Georgia. In his 12 years of living in Atlanta, he went to Barney Fletcher Real Estate School and became a licensed realtor with Keller Williams International in 2018. He is a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and his business Celebrate Realty Group seeks to empower, educate, and engage people in the power of home ownership and real estate. All right, so let's go ahead and welcome our guest, Pastor Willie Nelson III.
Hey, everybody. And you got to say the third. That's right. Willie Nelson the third. It has a whole ring to it.
Right. I understand. Awesome. So, first question that I have for you.
Right off the gate. Y'all see this?
Yes, I know.
want y'all to see
First
this.
question, with all these degrees and levels of expertise that you have, how did you flow from one journey to the next? I mean, that's a lot. And the thing is, you utilize all of these
Oh, my gosh.
areas.
Absolutely.
So tell me, how did that
Absolutely. So good evening, everyone. And I see my mom is on. Come on, she talking about we celebrate. Yeah. So all of my Richmond folks, y'all know what we do. Share this. Tag your folks. Tell them to jump on. We're gonna have some fun. So yes, my journey. I believe that all of our steps are truly ordered by God. And even today, this evening, I was showing a property. And a young lady was just telling me, and we're actually been friends for years. And she was telling me some of the stuff that was going on, kind of. She was like, "Oh, you're not a counselor." Da, da, da. I was like, "Well, actually, I kind of have that background too." so,
right.
so absolutely, it's been an amazing journey. I mean, from high school, college, how God has really just used all of it. I still work in music. I still work in music business management. I still review contracts. My banking and finance background and mortgages now, I understand budgeting and financing and how that all works. My days of sales and marketing in the radio industry, I use it to market myself, my brand. And so I use all of it, not only just for real estate, but for other things that I do. I truly believe in multiple streams of income. And my mom is on here now. I always said, listen, I didn't want to cut grass growing up. And she's like, what are you gonna do when you grow up? I'm like, listen, I need to make money so that I can pay somebody to do that. And there are some people who are absolutely gifted in landscaping and get paid very well to do it.
Yes, they do.
And I'll be one of the ones to pay them.
Yep.
to do it, so
Yep.
it all works together.
Praise God. Praise God. I love that. I love that. So, what, first of all, what keeps you going every day?
Oh, wow. What keeps me going?
Yeah, because that's a lot. You truly do have a lot going on. So, what keeps you going? I know
Um,
you have to wake up some days like, wow.
Absolutely. um, well, I think this is twofold. I think there's something innately in me. I look at my grandmother who is 85 years old, still playing basketball and jumping rope and just full of life. I call her the original Save Medea. She is hilarious off the cuff. I tell people I'm very tame compared to her. But my family just, I love them to life, and they've always pushed us to excel in every area. They always pushed us um, to go past where anybody, even in our family, has gone. I share the story how, and my mom is on here. My mom and dad, growing up, they didn't go to universities. I have friends who they like, oh yeah, my grandfather went to Howard and my grandmother went to Hampton and Florida A&M and this. My parents back then didn't go to school, but they said, listen, we know y'all are going to school.
Right.
Y'all go, and now we gonna find, but you all are gonna find scholarships because we heard that there's money out there.
Yeah.
And they just pushed us to just continue to do whatever it was that we wanted to do, whether it was music. I was into music, so band, I still don't know. I was into acting growing up. I still don't know how my parents paid for me to go to New York. I think I flew before my parents, actually. My
Wow.
first flight, I think I was actually 12. My first flight, I was 12. I know nowadays kids fly when they babies in 1 and 2, but I didn't fly until I was 12. And I don't think my parents had flown before, but they
Wow.
made a way for me to go to New York and go to this off-Broadway production. So I have a theater background growing up.
Wow.
Yeah, all of that. But to answer your question, I think that just to be our best really keeps me going. And I think the impact that I make on the community is my big reason why. When I work with someone who, whether it's they cleaning up their credit, getting in position to buy a house, to see an investor or a new investor, to walk them through getting their first investment property, that just really, it just pushes me. And now I have my niece. I don't have biological children, but now I have, and they call me Uncle Willie. You know that. They call me Uncle Willie. I have many nieces and nephews that are like adopted nieces and nephews. And now I have my first biological niece, so now I'm like, okay, now I really got somebody to leave all my money, my property to. So that's pushing me because I want her to have anything she wants and not have to struggle. So yeah, that's pushing me right now.
Love it. I love it. So tell me about Celebrate. Celebrate Realty Group.
Celebrate Realty Group.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually, for those who don't know, I'm actually with Keller Williams, which is an international broker. And so I'll back up. I'm an independent contractor. What does that mean? That means I'm my own boss, right? That means that I negotiate everything that comes to me as an independent contractor. All right. Hey, my cousin Coach Reese is on. What's going on? Y'all make sure y'all share. And so I wanted to start branding my own self in my own company. I just didn't want to be a part of Keller Williams because I knew it was bigger than just being associated with them. And so my mantra in life is I celebrate life. I had this epiphany years ago. Is friends that were dying, and I realized, this thing called life. We may be here 80 years, we may be here 40 years, but whatever time we have, every day we have to celebrate life. Don't wait for a birthday. Don't wait for a special occasion. Celebrate life daily. And so I carry that on. I call myself Mr. Celebrate Life. And so my group, as I'm going to be one day taking on realtors under my wing and continue to expand, is that I wanted to celebrate realty in real estate. Celebrate the wins. Like I said, I love my first time home buyers who thought that they couldn't do it. who somebody told them that they wouldn't be able to do it, and to have that come to fruition, and they're crying, and
Oh,
we celebrate, that. We celebrate when somebody sells their home and go into another house, or somebody. I just work with a couple who are retiring, where they're retired, but they're relocating here to spend their final years. This is going to be their final home,
yeah,
so to help them find their dream retirement house,
yeah.
I celebrate that. And so that's what it's all about. It's about celebrating our wins, and helping people to celebrate whatever it is that they have, their goals, particularly with real estate, that come up.
So it's a group that people can ask you questions, or is it just for them to find their house?
Yes. So I'm glad you asked that. So I am a full-fledged licensed realtor. And what does that mean? That means I can help you with leasing property, with purchasing property, with selling property. If you need to find a buyer for that property that you have, I can negotiate all of that. I also do consultations.
Wow.
I have a team of persons that I work with who are lenders, who are credit specialists. And so I team up with them, as well as commercial property. So I have, for all of my entrepreneurs on here who are looking to do commercial property, to get a storefront, to get a warehouse. I just got a call from somebody who builds swing sets, and they're looking for a new warehouse property. So I can assist with all of that within my group. So it's pretty phenomenal, keeps me busy.
Yeah,
But I like solutions. My tagline is from negotiations to celebration.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
from negotiate to celebrate, we do it all.
I like that. So when for Keller Williams, it's international. So does that mean you're a real estate agent for everyone, everywhere, pretty much?
That's a great question. Because I am with Keller Williams, I am actually I have a network of realtors across the globe that I can refer people to. So I can actually help vet out a great realtor for you to work with. So whether you're in New York, I've actually had friends who are in New Jersey, Philly, Virginia, and I just had a closing in Connecticut over the summer from people who contacted me here to find them a realtor, and to help them purchase their property and walk with them through their purchasing or selling their homes around the world.
Wow.
Yeah. We have offices in Aruba, Dominican. Yeah. So, even if I want to retire and go work there, I can.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So tell me,
Oh,
what is
that my sister, we got a testimony. Look,
hey,
say,
so connecting Richmond?
that's
Okay.
my sister. I helped connect her in Richmond. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. I thought once you're licensed somewhere, you have to stay there and do another license somewhere else if you know what I mean?
Yes, and that is an option for people who are looking to go into real estate. We do have people who are licensed in different states.
Okay.
I mean, I certainly can do that, but for me, because I'm with Keller Williams, we're one of the only groups that are able to do that within our network, to work with people in different states through another agent that's there.
Yeah, I like
Yep.
that. Awesome. Awesome. So what is your most memorable client or customer experience that you've had?
Oh gosh, there's so many.
I know.
And I hope none of them are watching, because they all look. Oh gosh, all of them are joining in. That's a client. We got another testimony. That's a client now. Chris, what's up, man?
Oh, that's nice.
Yep, I got them connected in Chesapeake. So
Awesome.
I'm the real deal, y'all. I got testimonies. I didn't pay them.
Right.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
I love it.
I've been working out and stuff, trying to get myself together. Thank you. Yes, him and his wife were great clients. So he's on here. So let me say they were my most memorable. But I will say I'll give this answer. Every client just has some really memorable moments. Like I really enjoyed that part of it. So even I'll use Chris and his wife, Victoria. I still remember, like, it was New Year's Eve. I want to say, Chris, it was like New Year's Eve. And they were talking. He called me and was like, "Hey, so we're looking to move. It's the holidays. It has to be kind of quick." And I think it was New Year's Eve or something like that. And I was like, "Well, let's meet. Like, I'm free." It was New Year's Eve, so I remember it was. And we went, had breakfast at this diner here in Atlanta. Met with them, and it was like, okay, well, we need 30 days. All right, let's do it.
Wow.
And we literally started and found them a realtor to connect with them, show them houses there. And I think it was like 30, it may have been 45 days because of some things that like small things that they had to push it back. But they were in their house and it was like, wow, this was insane. February 5th. Yeah. So we met New Year's Eve. Thank you, Chris. We met New Year's Eve and they closed on February 5th. It would have been sooner, but there were some hiccups with the seller. But yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
So if anybody want to meet New Year's Eve, let me know.
Right. Oh, I love it. I love it. So what is one common myth about your field that you'd like to debunk?
Oh gosh. There's so many.
Is it?
Oh my gosh. So what do you, I'm gonna ask the audience, like, so what are some things that you all heard about realtors? What are some things that you have heard about realtors? Come on, I like this, the teacher in me. I want to hear back from you all. Anybody? Donette, I know you got some. What are some of the myths? I think one of the biggest misconceptions, it is kind of, you know, that I hear, oh, y'all make all that money. Right. I'll go there. And for many agents who do a lot of volume, a lot of production, it can be very lucrative. However, and for all of my entrepreneurs on there, money hungry, backroom, oh, that's a good one. Money, yeah. So because people really get into it, it's a loaded question, right? Because
it
is. Get into it because they say, you know, they make a lot of money. But when I tell you, when you realize that to hang our license, as we call it on the broker, that broker has to get fees before we get ours, they're gonna get theirs, right? I have to pay for marketing. I have to pay for these listservs that people ask us to pull up. I have even school to start, you know, it's thousands of dollars licensing. I just had to pay $600 to renew my license with the board. Like we have to pay annual board fees. We pay like a lot of fees out, right?
Right.
And so and then we have to pay Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
You know, so I tell people, yeah, you see a big check come across the table, but everybody is getting pieces of that, right? So that's a big, like I said, we do, but on the back end, you understand profit and loss and all that because we are business owners, right? You know? Right. And so, yeah, money hungry. Yeah, I've heard, and they just want the sale, and some of those, you know, it could be true, but I will tell you, as far as me and my house, the Celebrate Realty Group. Case in point today, it happened twice today, actually, where I had what I call the come to Jesus meeting. And I explained to people budgeting, and sometimes just because you got pre-approved for a certain amount doesn't mean that you go to the max.
Right.
You know, because you can, and you may be able to afford the mortgage. But when you start looking at property taxes, when you start looking at insurance, when you start looking at just things you may want to do and just live, you know, I wouldn't want to be in a house and can't afford to, you know, pay the water bill, pay the light bill, put food in the house.
Yep.
You know, and so I have those conversations. And sometimes it is really tell people it may not be the time. That was a really hard conversation I had with one young lady because she really wanted it so bad. And I tell people, yes, start with me. And we can talk about the first thing I tell people to do before you start messing with your credit, before you start trying to apply for loans and looking, contact me.
Right.
Because I'm going to help you to go from point A to point Z. And so with this young lady, I told her, I said, you know, you need to save up some more money. And we hear this first time home buyer program and, oh, they give me money and they, you know, I can get this. But I tell you, sometimes it's a delay is not a denial.
Right. So,
you know, and I told her, I said, let's look at your budget. You know, what are you doing with your money? Because you make good money, but you're not saving enough, you know. And I told her, and to your point, Donna, that just want to sell. I tell people, you have to think when you move, you have to pay not only closing costs and just, you know, all the down payment, but when you get your home, you have to connect the utilities. You know, depending on where you are and deposit that are needed, hundreds of dollars. You have to move.
Yep.
Physically. So whether that means movers, truck rental, all of that, you have
Yeah.
to pay for all those things. You're now a homeowner. You can't call down to the apartment manager's office and tell them, oh, I need my air filters changed.
Yeah.
This light is flickering. No, you're a homeowner. You have to take care of it.
You gotta take care of it. That's so true.
So I definitely lead my business with care and compassion for people. I like to educate them and know what they're getting into for the long haul. Especially I have a heart for my first time home buyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You know what? It took my husband and I for our first home to we went through a few realtors. I didn't know you then, so but we went through because we didn't understand anything that they were talking about. Nothing. And they were just talking to us like we knew what they're, and I'm like, that's kind of rude because we've never done this before. It was like was it a Charlie Brown want? That's what it felt like to us because they were
It can be a lot.
Yeah. And we had no idea what they were talking about. So we went through like at least 4 different realtors until we felt comfortable with one that broke everything down to us. So
and I'm glad that is very important. I tell people, if you get me, you're not gonna need anybody else. But in case you're looking at somebody else, right. I tell people I'm honored to interview for the position to be your realtor.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because I do take it seriously. Like for most people, this is the biggest financial decision that you'll make.
Yeah.
And I tell them, you want to be comfortable enough with me to be honest. Yeah. If you don't understand something, ask me. Yeah. I'm accessible. My clients know they'll text me, they'll call me, hey, I know this may be a dumb question. I'm like, no, it's not. If it is, I'll tell you. No, but but I tell them, because most of them have not, especially first-time home buyers. And even I just met with a couple, it's their first time selling a home. They've been in their home for 20 years. This is the first time they've never sold a home. So it's different on the sales side than it is on the buy side.
Yeah. Wow.
And then investors is a whole nother ball game.
Oh my goodness.
That's a whole nother class.
Right. I was going to say that's a whole nother show. So what quick advice would you share with someone that wants to get started with real estate? Can they come to you or, would that be a part of Celebrate? Can you get people started with it or you want people that
Absolutely. So if you're thinking about real estate, and especially with the pandemic and many people have been displaced from their jobs or just really looking for something different, I number one would have that conversation about why are you doing this? If you're doing it because you think, oh, it's just a gold mine and, I have friends who are doing it, what have you. I'm going to talk to you about what you do because it's not as glamorous as it looks. And if you look through a lot of our realtor pages, you see us looking at houses and, dressing the part and driving nice cars. But no, it's a lot of work. Yeah. It's a lot of work. And I will tell you this. Understand that for those of us who we are commission only as agent, and we don't get paid a dime until we get to the closing table.
Yeah.
And, and everybody doesn't get to the closing table. Right. And so, I tell people, keep your day job. Look, and Blake is on there. He's a new realtor.
Oh, cool.
Yep. He started it at Keller Williams. Good to see you, man. But yeah, so I can actually help you no matter where you are, get started. Just to kind of give you some pointers. I've actually had 3 people that have come in our Keller Williams family who I've recruited, if you will, to come on board. And so I'm excited to be a part of their mentoring group. I actually at Keller Williams Atlanta at Midtown. So shout out to any of my coffee talkers who are on here and my amazing mentor, Jason Hammock. We do our time every morning and I'll help lead that group. Okay. And we give tips and advice and coach new agents, and new and old alike. So even people who come from other brokerages, we help to get them started and propel them in their career.
Awesome. And I was just going to ask, who is your best mentor? Who helps you?
Best mentor. Yeah, definitely got to give a shout out to Jason Hammock, and who is instrumental. man, like I actually just texted him earlier about a deal. Like he'll hit me back. Janice Walker here in Atlanta, who actually got me started at the office that I'm in. Cynthia Walker. Yeah, so Gina Lamorin. Hey, Gina, if you watch. Mika Wilson is another one. So many.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome. So where do you see yourself in 5 years and in 10 years with all this?
Who in 5 years, wow, I see myself out of this COVID pandemic.
Amen.
I see me as being in the top 10% of my office and coaching new agents. I really see, I love to teach and have my hands on it. And also I see myself doing commercial real estate. Right now I work with a partner to do that, but eventually that is a goal in 5 years to be doing commercial real estate as well.
I love
and
that.
then in 10 years, gosh, my 40th birthday is in 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks. So by 50, I'll be shifting gears and looking for the next 5 years of retirement, right?
I heard that.
So I'll have Celebrate Realty Group will have mini me's running everything. And so my role will probably be a little bit different. Definitely on the education side. I love that part of it, and training and doing commercial and letting my team do the residential things.
Okay. I love that. I love that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And what is a business tip that you'd like to share with everyone?
Business tip.
For somebody that's thinking of starting a business, whether it's going into real estate or anything, just
educate yourself.
Yes.
I would say, and when I say that, that's a huge, as Minister Tangela said, that's a loaded question, because whatever industry you're in, like, know your industry.
Yeah.
Know your industry. I remember going way back to undergrad, like taking marketing classes, and we talked about SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Know who your competitors are, know what your market is, who your consumers are. You don't have to know how, P&Ls, statements and all of that, but you need to get with a CPA, an accountant who knows how to structure your things, know how to get an EIN number, know how to do your Dun and Bradstreet number, how to get credit on the business, and not that you know it all at the same time, but as you continue to grow, continue to seek out resources. It's too much out there, not to be able to flourish in whatever industry you're in. So yeah, continue to seek it out. If you don't know something, ask, find out.
Mm-hmm.
It's too many resources out there. So yeah, educate yourself, know your industry. Those are like, know your industry.
Yeah, know your industry. I like that. And I like that. Ask, find a mentor.
Find a mentor.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people out there who will help you. And even if there aren't, like, this is good. Don't use it as an excuse.
Right.
Like, as a business owner, like, people who have jobs and nothing is, they can use excuses, whatever. But when particularly those of us, like, if we don't work, we don't eat.
Right.
Those of us who are in service industries, like, we have to grind. We have to make it happen. Right. And you talked about earlier, like, when I wake up, and I do prayer calls most of the times in the morning, and I'm like, oh, I want to go back to sleep. And then I start thinking, you know what? I need to do X, Y, and Z. And if I do these things, then I'm setting myself up to be okay next month. And I can pay the mortgage. I can pay, all these things. So let me go ahead and work. The times when you want to go to sleep, or you want to just, my friends, I tell them, hey, I'm a business owner. So that means some late nights where, you all might be able to hang out.
Yeah.
I may have to be looking for houses for a client. Like right now, when I get off here, I got to do a contract for a client. I have to call a client back who I haven't been able to call back yet, So, and for me, I have clients who are on the West Coast, who are on Central Time sometimes. So, I time it out where, okay, I can call them back a little later because they're an hour behind or 2 hours behind.
Right.
But yeah, it's your business.
Right.
And you want to be successful. So if you're not going to do it, who do you expect to do it?
Who's going to do
your baby?
Yeah.
All right.
I like that. So I know you like to celebrate. So tell us how you celebrate your wins. Do you have like when you sell a house, do you do something, like a ritual type thing? Like you
You
go home,
know,
pop a bottle or something? What do you
I
do?
need to get, I need to get, I said that I was going to start baking cakes for my clients. It's a lot of work. But yeah, I do. I always get my clients gifts. Yeah, because my clients become family. Like I tell them, like I look out for them like I would my sisters and my parents. Like I'm like, okay, yeah. So I give really good gifts based on who they are.
Yeah.
And
Oh, so tell us what kind of gifts you give.
so I've given do I have it? I don't have it. So like I did it's this big wood piece of wood with their name on it. They can put right in front of their house. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Chris said I still want that cake. Yes, I told him I was gonna make them a cake. Yeah, so I've done a ring doorbell.
Wow.
They were talking about that they were gonna leave theirs. And so yeah, did a ring doorbell.
So it's
And
personal. I
huh?
like that. It's personal.
Yep. Yes, very personal. And so I don't know if he's on here, but there's another client who's a fraternity brother of mine. He's a Sigma. So I got him a special cutting board with his Sigma stuff, his line and stuff on it. And I also have a new gift that I'm going to be giving out in 2021 from Tiffany's, which is a keychain. So if somebody loses their keys, they can return them to Tiffany's and they will find out whose keys they are and ship them to them.
Wow.
So look, I can't even wink. Did I do it right?
No.
So
Right, I got it though.
that's a gift that's coming in 2021. So for anybody watching or hearing,
Yes.
that's really cool.
Where you need to go. I love that. I love it.
We celebrate realty. Yes.
Yes, I like that. So what do you know now that you wish you knew when you first started? If anything, or did you just know it all?
No, I didn't know. I knew a lot. And really my experience in life and just different aspects of business help to transition into real estate. But I will say, I think the biggest thing is I thought that people who knew me would automatically want to work with me. Yeah. Right? Because I support people like, but yeah, I think that was the biggest thing because it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit, like this much. Yeah. At first, I'm like, I called and told you I was a realtor, like, but you closed. I see you on Facebook and you celebrating like you just bought this brand new house.
Wow.
And they're like, oh yeah, I use such. I'm like, well, did you know them?
Right.
Like, well, no, a coworker was telling me about them. And I'm like, you gave a stranger, like you have a friend who has a business, and all my entrepreneurs, y'all understand. It's like your friend has a business. Like, why would you go somewhere else? Like, help me out, and I'm good. Like, it ain't like I'm just a shabby business. Like, I'm good.
Right.
But yeah, some people will, some people won't. But yeah, you just have to keep going and knowing that it's not an overnight thing. And I think I knew that. But now looking back and just where things are now, I mean, it just like my phone, it rings all the time. Like I have people, Raquel, if you're watching on here, like I promise, like she sends me a referral every week. Like I'm like, how many people do you know? Like it's she's like, hey, I don't know if you can help them, but they were talking about they was wanting to buy a house, so I gave them your info, you know. Yeah, wow. So I have many people. I'm really blessed and fortunate that many people who support me, who stay, giving me referrals and telling people, hey, this is the guy you need to work with.
Awesome. I'm gonna connect you with my best friend. She is she just went through real estate school, so she's
nice.
Getting a start. Yeah. So
yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do I need to put my info up here?
Oh yeah. You do. I think I just made a banner, but I don't have all your info. I have that for you.
And she's so funny, y'all. So the system that we on, I normally run in the background. So it's so funny that I'm on screen. Like it's funny. Right. Somebody else is doing it.
Exactly. So yes. Somebody says cookies are easier. Yep, Donetta says. Well, let me see what else. Okay, have I answer or asked you any, are there any other questions that you could think of that I haven't asked that you want to answer? There we go. Like, it's a common question that your clients ask you all the time that I haven't touched on yet.
Clients typically ask me, depending on where they are, they ask me, well, what do I need to do? That's whatever their situation is, whether they're trying to upgrade, whether they're trying to downgrade, whether they're trying to invest, is they look for direction. You know, so every situation is different. Like I tip, I don't have really cutter answers because everybody's situation is different. And I look at myself, I like to solve problems. So I bring solutions. You know, you're expecting a baby, you know, or like if we're in Atlanta, rent is going up $200. So I'm like, you know what? Let me look at buying a house. So I called you. Perfect.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, or I've been in this house. I want to get something with a dedicated office space, or I want a man cave. I've heard that more this year than ever.
I bet.
I want a man cave. I need to be away from these kids, away from my wife. So what do we need to do?
Wow. Yeah. And how is it that so many people are buying houses right now? Have you noticed that? Or is it
Absolutely. And so there's a few things that happen, and I love talking about it. And it's all a matter of economy and two words in business that we know: supply and demand. Wow. So right now, interest rates are at a historic low, meaning like they've never been this low.
Because of COVID?
Well, there's a few things. So interest rates are driven by the government in order to help inflation and to help keep the economy in balance, right? Gotcha. And so they keep the interest rates low to stimulate the economy, keep people, and any economists out there, they keep it low so that people will purchase, right? So if loans are low, like I can take it out, I can get more, I can keep paying. And so because of the economy, people losing jobs, they've kept it really low. So like I've gotten people approved this week at like 2.65% on a 30-year fixed rate loan, 2.85, you know, like even with bad credit, you know, a challenge credit, as I like to say, you know, I had a guy, he got a 4% rate and his credit score was right over 600. You know, because I hear people say, you know, I've had people come to me with a 670 credit score and say, oh, well, I'm trying to work on my credit. And I'm like, do you realize like you can get approved with that? I can.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, you can. Like you can. You like, let's talk. So that low interest rate has driven buyers to the market, because for people who have looked before at buying a house that may have been $300,000, if the interest rate was 4.5%, you know, their mortgage payment was too much that they couldn't afford. But because the interest rate is lower, now that house they can afford. And because of that's important, a fixed rate. So and so you got that phenomenon going on: low interest rates, buyers rushing to the market. And now you also have, and partly because of COVID, that we have a shortage of inventory. And we use that word supply and demand. We have a shortage of inventory. And so people aren't selling their houses as much or putting them on the market. They're kind of staying put. And so you have all these buyers, and then you don't have enough houses to put all these buyers in. So that's when you hear about bidding wars and multiple offers on the same property, because of supply and demand. We don't have enough houses to support the demand of the buyers.
Wow.
And so, of course, that drives up the price of the homes. You know, so for sellers, and just to be clear, we are in a seller's market. You know, so although they're like, well, no, I thought we're in a buyer's market. I'm like, no, it's good. It's a good time to buy because of the interest rates being low. Yeah. So it's a great time to buy. Even though the housing prices are going up, housing pretty much continues to go up. You know, so I tell people, the longer you wait, that same house that you saw that you love, that was 250,000. Guess what? Next year it's going to be 270.
Wow.
And the year after that, it may be 300.
Oh my God.
You know, so the longer you wait, that same house continues to go up.
Wow.
Yep, I'm waiting it out. I'm waiting out. So yeah, done that. We're gonna talk.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have question here. Pastor Janine's asking, do you teach people how to invest?
How to invest, like in real estate? I'm assuming that's the question.
Real
Probably
estate.
how to invest in real estate. That's a broad question. We kind of talked about this before, because investing, when people, the first question I ask people when they say, I want to invest in real estate, I ask them, have they invested before, and what does that mean to them? Because investment, like most, like if you stocks and everything else, I'm going to ask you questions. Are you looking for short-term investment? Is this going to be a fix and flip where you're going to go get a property and you may get a hard money loan, you put money in it, and then you immediately sell it? That's one way. Or is this going to be something that you're going to hold? Is this going to be something long-term where, like in Atlanta right now, we have a lot of projects that are going on, transitioning neighborhoods. If you're going to hold on to this house for 7 years, for 10 years, as an investment, rent it out, because this area may appreciate over the next 7-10 years, $150,000. So you want to hold it. That's one way of investing. You have people who do Airbnb properties.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
I like the way that sounds. I like that.
And so then we talk about even what it means to be an Airbnb owner.
Yeah.
Because there's certain things, of course, you have to look at what neighborhoods they're in. And then again, you're the homeowner. So, if anything happens to your house, other people, and, insurance, and then neighborhoods, like all those different things. So, yeah, so there are different facets of investing. So, like, do I teach it? No. Do I know people who do it? Absolutely. I'm resourceful. So
that's a lot right there, actually, the ways to invest, so
yes.
That's good. Yeah.
And so they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. I'm like, that's why you come talk to me.
Yeah. I thought of that Airbnb, Mike and I, because I'm like, oh, that sounds good to have an Airbnb. Yeah, I like that. But it's a lot. I already know. But yeah.
There's pros and cons to most everything in life, right?
Yeah, to everything. But one day I would love to just sit back and retire and own an Airbnb somewhere. That would be cool.
Income streams. I love it.
Yeah, I like that. And I just imagine just decorating it and, yeah, like that.
You see it.
Yeah, it just looks so cool. So cool. So, all right. I want to ask you, give us 3. First of all, does anybody have any questions? Please put them in the comments. But describe yourself in 3 words.
Oh my gosh. Describe myself in 3 words. Y'all help me out. A lot of people on here know me. 3 words. This is one of those icebreaker questions. What do I normally say? I'm fun.
Yeah.
I'm fun. I'm loyal. And dedicated.
I like that.
I'm really dedicated to, like, that goes across the board. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. All right. With that being said, are you ready for these lightning round questions? These are questions that are just icebreaker. We're just asking just to get to know your personality and get to know
my mom said passionate. That's right.
Yes. Lively.
Lively, compassionate, resourceful. Yes, I'm very resourceful. Look at thank all of y'all who watch and who know me. Look, that's great.
Blessed. Amen. Yes.
Absolutely.
Love it.
So lightning round. All right.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot. Okay. I'm going to ask anyway, even though I'm not sure one of them, but okay. So ready for the lightning round questions. This is a round of about 10 questions that I just asked you. They're random questions and you just tell us whatever pops in your mind. Just answer it however you like to.
Okay.
And if you want to pass, you can pass. All right. So question 1, what is your favorite car?
Oh, my favorite. Well, I'm going to say the Porsche Panorama.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Okay.
Yep. Get ready. 40th birthday present.
Oh, okay. Mama's like, not for me. All right. Do you know how to 2-step dance? You know that, like, that R. Kelly 2-step? Yeah. Step in the name of love. I take that as a yes. Okay.
Yes.
Steps. All right.
Absolutely. I can turn around, spin, all that. Yeah.
Okay.
Behind the back.
What? All right. Okay. I didn't even know that.
I can dance. Yeah.
Okay. And what does the acronym SCUBA stand for?
Scuba?
Yeah. Do you know? But that's the one I forgot the whole thing, but do you know
You don't even know it.
I do, I do. She said,
Scuba, like
nice.
scuba
I
diving?
heard that, Mama. Yeah, scuba is an acronym. Yes, it's oh, I forgot. Somebody help me out. Something underwater breathing apparatus. I forgot the first.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Mama says he can dance. I heard that.
Yeah, we all can dance. My whole family.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, now this one's a given. A scale of 1 to 10. How good are you at singing? We already know.
I mean, I'm like a 5.5. I'm like,
Masters in music. Okay. All right. Do you believe in love at first sight?
yes, because the first time I saw that chicken wing, whew, I knew there was a God somewhere.
Oh my gosh, a mess. Okay. How many cups of coffee do you drink per day, if any?
Oh, that's I'm back to drinking a cup a day.
Okay.
Yeah, I had stopped when I like and I go through those periods where I kind of like stop because I'm like I need my coffee in the morning. But yeah, lately it's been some long days. So in the morning, just one.
Just one. Okay. That's not
Mhm.
bad. What's your ideal temperature outside?
Oof, I love fall, like
Mm,
60 degrees, maybe. Like it's not too cold, but it's not hot. Like
gotcha.
a gentle breeze. Like,
That,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
me. I like that too. All
Hmm.
right. Favorite type of muffin?
Blueberry.
Gotcha. Me too. Giving presents or getting presents?
Mm, that's difficult because I mean,
Oh,
who doesn't like to get presents? It's most time difficult for me even to receive presents because I always give so much. Like I'm a giver. Like I
yeah.
have I give. Like I give.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's even difficult for me. I'm still trying to like. I just posted earlier about cash. I've been getting random cash apps.
Oh, praise
Just
God.
like thank you for what you do, or just like people just randomly give me, and I'm like, wow.
Love that.
And yeah, people love it because like if they try to do it in person, I'd be like, no, that's fine, But now they're like, it's there. What are you gonna do? You
Yeah.
know.
Love it. Love it. And last question, who has inspired you the most?
Oh my gosh. Um, there's so many. Oh wow. I would say, gosh, I'm thinking of even my family, my foundation. Um, and I will say because my mom is on here. I'll say like my parents. I get my entrepreneurial spirit from them. Like I remember growing up, and like I said, they didn't go to school back then, like college back then, and since then, like my mom has gone on to get her master's.
Awesome.
She's gone up, but I really saw, hey, my cousin Marlene is on, the
Oh,
Reverend Dr. Marlene Fuller. But
ooh,
yeah, but my parents, like I remember like them doing just different businesses and just like I tell people my ability to edit came from my mom. She was a church clerk. She would type the bulletins,
oh, yeah.
and as kids we would proofread it and
Oh,
like, oh, this space is an extra space right here, or this needs to be out, like, and so all those things that they did, helped me to where now I can look at documents and catch things and like, to be able to process problems. My dad would do like word puzzles with us over dinner, like just we would watch Jeopardy. That was a big thing. My family growing up, we would watch Jeopardy and we'll be answering the questions as kids, you
I
know.
love that.
Um, but it just really like they poured. I told you all earlier about the trip to New York. I'm like, how did y'all get the money to do that? Like y'all paid for me to go to this acting camp off Broadway and like a flight. Like, how did y'all even do that? I still don't know. Like, cause I'm like, y'all wasn't making that much money back then. Like, how y'all do that?
Wow.
But just their sacrifice and just how they've given really my family. I just come from an awesome family who just gives even to this day, and I tell you, when you meet my family, like, oh, I see why you are like you are now. They're
Oh,
all just love y'all. You just sweet and people, and but they don't take no mess either. Don't
right.
think that kind is being a doormat. And my mom said, "What you got started early? Remember parking?" Yes,
Oh,
I've
you
always
stars. I love that.
So they
Oh,
had across the street from where we live, they had this huge it's called the show place. It's like a big mart open warehouse type thing. They have different shows and things that'll go there. So
uh-huh.
yeah, I would be as a little kid, they would let me park because they have a huge yard.
Wow.
And so you know how you close to like in Daytona, the speedway or something, or like, and they would pay, I don't know if it was $20 per car
Wow.
and to park cars. I had a little flag. And then I think we got a little snack. We went and got snacks and like water and stuff. It's like, hey, you thirsty? You know, and
Yeah.
we made money.
See,
Yeah.
that's good. Yep. Teach them young, the entrepreneur spirit. Get it in you. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. I knew it was just coming. I knew I had
Oh
to
man.
help in your busy schedule. So this is
Thank you for
awesome.
having me.
Yes, thank you. And thank you everyone for watching. And remember, if you too want to be showcased on the show, please either DM me or go ahead and reach out to Hope Fellowship, Hope Media at hopefellowship.org. Send your 60-second video in. All right. And thank you everybody for watching. And next week we will not be on. My daughter has a game. So the week after that is our next show. So we will see you then.
All right. You're welcome. Thank y'all.
Thank you.